Good morning, YouTube. This is Joshua Ramay with another video. This video is about the 5 rites. I felt like the instruction video that I did in Maui didn't contain a lot of the important information that comes with the 5 rites. So in this video, I'm going to offer a little bit extra commentary about the background of it, what it is, how it actually works, why it would actually use you in any way, or provide health, and also the all-important contraindications list that wasn't included in my previous video. So if you have certain medical conditions, it might be a bit unsafe for you to do these because it supercharges your endocrine system, your circulatory system, and your nervous system. So you might need to consult your physician to make sure that these are okay for you to do. Okay? So first off, I wanted to tell you it comes from a book called The Ancient Secret of the Fountain of Youth by Peter Kelder. This is the only book that I recommend on the subject. There are, I think, many books written on the subject, but this is the original one. This is the one that revealed the 5 rites to the world. There's a lot of people trying to make money off of the 5 rites right now, and they have their commentary and their opinions. But this is the only one I recommend, straight from the source. Peter Kelder met a man, well, he calls him Colonel Bradford, but he changes his name, who befriended him and looked very elderly for his young age, and said that he was going to go try to find the Fountain of Youth in Tibet, that there were stories of monasteries and monks that had the Fountain of Youth, and that you could reverse this aging process if you found him, and invited him to go along, but he was skeptical and said, no, thank you. But then Colonel Bradford came back looking significantly transformed, 20 years younger, and said that the Fountain of Youth was actually these 5 exercises that the Tibetan Lamas do, and that there's certain aspects to these 5 exercises. So he explained to him as follows of why it works and how it works. His first point was that the body has 7 energy centers, or vortexes in English, but the Hindus call them chakras. You've probably heard that term. It's very popular nowadays. But that they're powerful, invisible energy fields, and that there are 7 of them. These 7 vortexes govern the 7 ductless glands in the body's endocrine system, and that system in turn regulates all the body's processes, and that includes aging. Okay? And in a healthy body, that these vortexes revolve at a really, really great speed, allowing vital energy, which the Hindus call prana. It's chi in China, ki in Japan. The Hawaiians call it mana. And it's basically etheric energy. And it's the energy that in acupuncture, they're using pins to either increase the electromagnetic energy of it or decrease them throughout the entire body as they feed into the major vital organ systems. So basically, their theory that the monks came to thousands of years ago is that these vortexes, if any one of them begins to slow down, the block of chi or prana feeding into and through the body begins the process of old age and disease. So it'd be akin to if you were an out-of-tune piano with 7 octaves, and there's 7 energy vortex centers. These exercises basically retune the piano of your endocrine system and then amplify its vitality to the same frequency as when you were 25. Simple enough, right? And that restores health and ceases the aging process. So basically, any one of the 5 rites can accomplish this in some measure, just spinning or just the second rite. But for full results, you have to do all 5, and you have to do them consistently. Okay? So basically, he had these other tips as an adjunct to just doing the 5 exercises that will add to it or give you a little added insight. And they are as follows. First off, never strain yourself. Less is more. Strain has nothing to do with wellness whatsoever, and it certainly doesn't with these exercises. So just go at your own pace and increase your repetitions at your own pace. The max is definitely 21 repetitions, but if that becomes too easy for you, then he says it's okay to add 3 of each of the rites at night before you go to bed if you're really, really super motivated. Okay? Also, it won't interfere with your regular exercise regimes. Please keep that up because these exercises aren't for physical strength. They're for energetic strength. These are energetic exercises. Period. It's also incredibly important, as I might have mentioned in the old video, to breathe deeply and rhythmically. But even in between the rites, after you've completed them and you're stretching a little bit, to continue that deep breathing in and out and in a rhythmic pace. All right, simple enough, right? He also mentions to please never take a shower or a bath which is cold enough to he says, internally chill you, or it negates all of the benefits that you achieve with these rites. So don't do that, okay? Also, you may skip 1 day a week, but never more than that. So you're on a business trip, only do one, only skip one of the days a week, or the overall progress will suffer the results. He said mental attitude is also incredibly important. Seeing yourself as youthful and vital and in your peak of health, and trying to remember when your prime was, to have that in your mind as your current self. So that was his major ancillary advice. There's also in this book a sixth rite, and the subject of the book, Colonel Bradford, did the sixth rite because he was a widower, so he had no intention of remarrying. And this is why all of the monks, and why many monks are celibate, is there's a transmutation process of the sexual energies, and you have to still be, still feel sexual energies to be able to bring it up the spine and transmute it into the higher vortexes of the head. And that's what causes dramatic shifts and miraculous shifts in youthing and what he calls becoming a superman or a superwoman. So worth exploring if you're already at that stage of life. I'm married, so that's out. And but maybe in my 80s or 90s, I'll give it a whirl. I'm very satisfied with the results of the 5 rites now. Even just now, I did them inconsistently over the past several years, but now I've really been up to date and doing them very, very consistently ever since that Maui trip about a month and a half ago. And I could feel a lot of the changes happening within. There's usually a pretty dramatic detoxification process that happens within the first couple of weeks. But once that subsides, it's just vitalizing the system and feeling that 25-year-old self starting to reemerge again. So now that we've got those little extra tidbits, and I would highly, highly recommend buying his book on Amazon to get all of the little caveats, and he mentions dietary information of how the monks eat in their digestive processes, and how they eat food in certain orders throughout the day. That also adds. So there's lots of things that can add to this process, but the 5 rites of it in themselves should create a very noticeable change in you, regardless. Okay, so I was going to mention the contraindications. So if you have any of these conditions medically, I recommend that you consult your doctor. There's 3 tiers of contraindication to this. Okay. The first tier of contraindications is if you have any of these conditions, please do the 5 rites very slowly and only increase by repetitions of about 1 to 2 a week. If you have them, okay? Which is cautionary. It's wise to be cautious when doing any kind of spiritual practice, okay? Or energy practice, even though those aren't mutually exclusive. So, if you have multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's or a Parkinson's-like neurological condition, if you have vertigo, especially be careful with that first rite because you're spinning around. That goes without saying, right? If you have any seizure disorders, if you are currently pregnant, and especially with nausea, if you are taking drugs that cause dizziness, if you have low back or neck pain, if you have weak abdominal muscles at the moment, if you have arthritis of any kind, if you have fibromatosis, or if you're taking medication for high blood pressure. So you're already doing something about it. Again, just do slowly and be cautious, okay? And only increase by 1 to 2 every week or so. The second level of contraindications is consult your doctor if. So just go and ask your physician, okay? If you have a hiatal hernia or hernia of any sort, if you have hyperthyroid conditions, if you have Meniere's disease, very French sounding, if you have vertigo, of course, or seizure disorders, consult your doctor. If you're pregnant, goes without saying. Especially if you're doing the second rite, you shouldn't do the second rite because you're kicking your feet up and down. You don't want to disturb the hips or the developing fetus in any way whatsoever. Why take any chances? If you have severe arthritis of the spine, any disc disease, if you have uncontrolled high blood pressure, you're not taking any medication for your high blood pressure, but you're aware that you have it, definitely consult your doctor, okay? And if you've had any abdominal surgery within the last 6 months or ulcers, contact your physician. Now, tier 3 of contraindications, where it can get pretty dicey. You're going to definitely need your doctor's explicit approval for this, okay? And they're all cardiac related. If you have an enlarged heart, if you have any heart valve problems, or if you suffered a heart attack in the past 3 months, absolutely consult your physician. But if they clear you, definitely take it easy, okay? Less is more with this and probably any spiritual process. The tortoise definitely beats the hare. You're going to get the best results by taking your time with this. Chew your food slowly. It's great, okay? So have fun with the 5 rites. Enjoy them. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it's been helpful in any way. And I love you, okay? I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. And enjoy your life. Enjoy the 5 rites, okay? All right. Thank you.